leaders to stand up and do the right thing. And it's a song about not letting anybody take down your spirit. Come on.
Rising above, tension below, learn from the end between. Blinded by trust, asleep to the truth, awakened by disbelief. Somewhere I found strength in my soul. Still you refuse to see. Are you sure I'm not alright? Lately I've been feeling every lifeline leads its own way to the heaven. But I've seen you run in circles, unforgiven. Is there anything in this world that can make you stop? Oh, you're a machine. World of your own, hollow inside. Careful when worlds collide. Feeling my life, all it can hold. Carry it on with pride. And are you sure I'm not alright? Lately I've been feeling every lifeline leads its own way to the heaven. I've seen you run in circles, unforgiven. Is there anything in this world that can make you stop? Oh, you're a machine. The sun's still above, all the wind that's coming down, and I can feel the clouds drifting away. Now the sky is open wide.
find a place, guide us with your grace, give us sweet soul when we
The brilliant, your very own Lea Salonga, everybody.
That's your fan club.
It's a shame I can't see them. It's
There they are. There they are.
We've got the Beliebers, Grobanites. It's
Yes.
not quite the same, is
No,
it?
well, they were all, every one of them were deadheads in the 60s, and so they just needed a bit of a name shift, but really everything else is exactly the same.
Were you consulted on the name, the Grobanites?
No, I was not. No, I was not. No,
No.
it feels like a medicated lotion, really.
Thank goodness for them.
Yeah, yes, exactly right. Yes, I've got a case of Grobanitis, and I'm going to need maybe a little bit here. Yeah. No, it's very, very sweet. I mean, I have the most passionate fans on the planet, and for the style of music that I do and the kind of singing voice that I have, it's not the kind of thing where you're immediately going to be on top 40 and things like that. So to have been able to do this for 15 years, to be able to have a fan base that through all the trends has been there for you 100%
I was going to say,
means everything.
but the genre that you appeal to are the fans that do stay with you forever.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, I'm so lucky because what I do is more of a traditional style of music,
Yeah.
and and throughout the years, especially at the beginning of my career, because my voice was kind of this kind of large thing. People tried to kind of put it in a box and try to figure out, how to sell it and whatever else. So the more I've had fans that have just let me be myself and sing like I do, the more successful it's been. So I'm very, very
Is yours
thankful
just
for
a
that.
God-given voice, or did you have a lot of training?
I was a beautiful boy soprano when I was a child. I was in choir. I grew up in Los Angeles. My parents were great. They took me and my brother out to see a lot of shows when I was younger, so I kind of had the bug at an early age, and it just was one of those serendipity things where the shows that I really like to see, the kind of music I like to listen to, also was the kind of voice that I developed when my voice finally cracked. And so it's one of those things where I knew I had a singing voice, but I was shy about it. So it really took a teacher to push me to the front and say,
Because
hey, I
you
believe.
thought you were a nerd, didn't you, at school?
I thought. Thank you for the past tense. I appreciate the past
Yeah,
tense.
but you can't have been.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, when you sing more classical style music and you're in high school, it's already hell that time of your life. And you sing when you're, not singing rock music and you're not on the football team and all that stuff. It takes you a minute to kind of like find your mojo, find your
You don't
confidence.
still feel like a nerd. The way you answered that is as if you still have the nerd thing going on in there. Have you?
The nerd is ever present. I think for any of us that kind of had an awkward time in high school, I feel like that's a good thing because it makes you a person. I feel like you don't want to peak at that time in your life. I feel like
different is good.
yeah, different is good.
But if you weren't famous and I met you in a wine bar and you said, I am this amazing baritone singer, I'd say,
yes, because that would happen.
you're having
Yes,
a laugh.
Yes.
You don't look like someone that's got that pair of lungs going on.
I love that scenario you just painted. Just on my fourth Pinot. I am a marvelous baritone singer. And, I would deserve a slap across the face for that. No, I don't think I've ever really fully looked like my voice. I mean, certainly when I was younger, I didn't. Now that I have the beard, I think I'm starting to finally kind of look like the way I sing. No, when I was 17, 18 years old, and I was just scrawny and couldn't grow facial hair to save my life. Yeah, it was a bit jarring to people, I would imagine, especially at the wine bars at 17.
They always say a mother just always thinks you're gorgeous, and your mum often likens you to somebody, doesn't she?
At one point she thought well, my mom is very sweet, and she's
She's your mum.
Combing my hair. Stuff, yeah, she thought I looked like Richard Gere at one point.